Just take a moment to notice how you're feeling. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. You can stand or you can sit for this. Maybe take a couple of really deep breaths to start. And just notice, what does it feel like to breathe really deeply? It might be a contrast to how you were breathing before. It might not be. And begin to notice how you're feeling physically. So maybe there are sensations in your body that are kind of calling for you to notice them. Might be discomfort, it might be comfort, it might be places that feel tight or places that feel loose and ready to move. Whatever it is, just notice and see if you can do all this noticing without judgment. So just, oh, that's how it is. And you might notice your feeling tone, what kind of emotions are present today. And sometimes along with emotions come kind of a story that your brain will bring into it, like I'm feeling X because Y. Just notice that. Is any of that there for you today? And once you've noticed all that, maybe take a really deep inhale through your nose and sigh it out through your mouth. And you might think about making a little space, whatever that means for you, like creating some sort of spaciousness. And if your eyes are closed, you can go ahead and open them. And if you have blocks, grab your blocks and place your blocks flat on the floor in front of your feet, if you have them. And I'm just going to say that the reason for using the blocks here is that maybe it's going to bring in a little more mindfulness because it takes some focus to direct our blocks. But take the next few minutes to walk around your room by pushing one block and then placing that foot down and pushing the other block and placing that foot down. And each time you do this, notice the feeling of the block on your toes. Notice the sound it makes when you push it along the floor. Notice the feeling of your foot hitting the floor every time you take a step. We're just going to take a few minutes and think of this as a walking meditation. So, more importantly than any of the physical aspects of it, are just noticing what is there. What are you feeling? And if at any point pushing the blocks becomes distracting, you can let that go and just walk slowly around your room. Take your time walking your blocks back to your mat. And once you're back by your mat, you can set your blocks aside. Come on down to your mat, have a seat. Bring your feet out in front of you. Place the soles of your feet on the ground. Bring your hands behind you. And then widen your feet out a bit. So you're just kind of in this hanging out position. You can do anything you need to feel comfortable here. But once you're all set up, drop your knees to one side and then lift them up and drop them over to the other side. Try that a few times, moving at your own pace, just noticing how does that feel in your body today. So you might notice sensations in your hips, in your knees, in your ankles, in your back, your shoulders, anywhere sensations pop up. Just notice what you're feeling. And as always, when dropping your hips from side to side doing this, it's very likely that you'll tend to kind of move forward, and you can always reset yourself by just pausing and pressing yourself back. And one thing you could add here is the next time you drop your knees to one side, you might take whatever arm is back behind you and swing it around and kind of come into a twist and a reach here so that you're reaching up diagonally from where you're sitting, kind of reaching up over your knee, maybe past your knee to the front or the back, depending on how much you're stretching. But just notice, what does that feel like? And when you're ready, come back to center and try it on the other side. Notice, does it feel different on the second side? And try that a number of times on both sides, moving again at your own pace. So, however quickly or slowly you want to go. And another thing you might consider adding on the next time you switch sides would be, as your knees come down and you swing your back arm around, you might reach down instead of up. And if you do, maybe you rest your hands on the ground or maybe your forearms. You might also place a block underneath your forearms. So you're coming into kind of a twist and fold thing here if you reach down. I suppose you're in a fold even if you're reaching up. But take another minute or so to try out any combination of these options. Take your time evening yourself out. So making sure you've done this twist and fold equally on both sides. And once you're all evened out, you can come back to center.